What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is my review and breakdown for Fear the Walking Dead Season 7 Episode 6, and this is Altia's last episode in the series. Well, for a while at least. Maggie Grace, the actress that played the character, will not be returning. This is her last episode. Maybe she'll return in the Rick Grimes movies or the main show or World Beyond, I don't know, but yeah, it's her last episode. And we open this episode her looking for her love interest, Isabel. She comes across one of the Teddy group members from last season. And yeah, she's looking for Isabel. She wants to know where she went because the CRM are hot on her tails after using the CRM helicopter to evacuate people from the nuclear fallout, which was Daniel and characters like that. So that's what Altia is doing in this episode. And it's her last episode. I didn't know it was her last episode until after the episode. And I thought this was an okay episode. It wasn't my favourite of the season, probably my least favourite. And look, there's some cool sequences in this episode with the CRM soldiers. There's a helicopter chase with an armored truck. There's also some pretty cool kills with a cannon, which was awesome. But you have Grace and Morgan trying to find Altia to bring her back to the group. Morgan is trying to rebuild his family, to rebuild a community again after losing everything at the end of last season, while Strand has the tower, and that's doing pretty well for itself. We get kind of flashbacks as well of some recordings because Altia's thing was always to record and interview people, and we get some scenes here, of course, with the characters in the past of her interviewing them, and they're sick of getting interviewed, and that's really where Morgan was introduced as well, was true interview with Altia back in season 4 when he crossed over from The Walking Dead. So yeah, I don't really like these types of scenes right here. I know a lot of people don't like Altia in terms of her recording everything and some of these shots that we got. Like this stuff right here, I just wasn't interested in whatsoever. I understand that's her thing, that's what she likes doing, but yeah, you didn't have to show maybe as much of it, and we got to see a lot of recordings of her with somebody speaking, but you never heard the person speaking. You just got to see Altia reply to them. But she finds this cannon and she tries it out on some walkers, and it's pretty badass. It's pretty brutal. And yeah, this walker is very much ripped apart by this cannon, which Morgan will use by the end of the episode. But yeah, she's being hunted down by these CRM soldiers. She just wants Morgan around because the CRM are bad and they will kill Morgan and Grace. They will kill anybody that they come across. Then we got to see from Altia's point of view watching the missile as that was launched at the end of last season, which actually was a pretty cool shot. I did like that one a lot. But then the CRM come across Morgan and Grace. They push them down. They're about to kill them. And they want Altia. They want to find out the location of Isabel because she used the CRM helicopter. And the CRM want to tighten up any loose ends, and they threaten to kill Morgan and Grace if Altia doesn't give them the location of Isabel, and she gives herself up as well. But Morgan's able to get away. He's able to turn the tables on these CRM soldiers. He's able to get a gun, and Morgan doesn't really want to kill if he doesn't have to in a way, but he just wants Grace safe. He wants Altia safe. He wants these people away from him. But these CRM soldiers, there's only 2 of them, and they're not the smartest CRM soldiers I've ever seen, but they look cool. The outfits are cool, the guns are cool, which we've seen in World Beyond as well this season. We've seen Silas use that gun as well in this season. So yeah, I think that the CRM is an interesting group, and I do like World Beyond. I do like the world building that's going on there, even though it's very, very slow. But we got an awesome chase sequence with the CRM helicopter and the armored truck hunting down Morgan and Grace and Altia. And I like this. This is a pretty cool shot, something that we've never seen before maybe in The Walking Dead. A helicopter chase scene going after a car, an armored car, and of course the guns are inside that armored truck, and then they're pointed towards the CRM soldiers, and Altia just wants them to go away. She wants to protect probably the love of her life, which is Isabel, and she just wants to get on with herself, and she wants to keep Morgan and Grace safe. But it looks like that they're caught by the CRM soldiers. Grace is in the truck. The CRM soldiers are pointing their weapons towards Altia, and then it's a plan by Morgan. Grace moves the truck. Altia ducks, and Morgan lets off the cannon, which absolutely takes out the CRM soldiers, which was pretty fantastic. And then we kind of get a interesting parallel because when Morgan was first introduced, Altia was the one recording him, and now he is recording her for her last episode because she wants to go and find her love, Isabel. And then here's kind of some images I got off the internet of Morgan's kind of introduction to the show being recorded by Altia. And look at the cinematography. It's very grey and very it's not very pleasing on the eyes whatsoever. Thank God that they've added some colour to the Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead spin-off, because it just looks a lot better right now, as you can see in this shot right here. So they hug, and then Althea is on her way to find Isabel. And I love how Morgan is in these episodes. He's like the connective tissue with each character, with each story. And Lenny James, who plays Morgan, is fantastic. And I think Maggie Grace, who I love from the Lost TV show, one of the best shows of all time, she did a fantastic job as the character Althea, even though I didn't always kind of like the character and I didn't really feel much for the character at all, but I thought this was a pretty good send-off for her, and I think she'll definitely return. She's too good of an actress not to use again, so she'll definitely return in some format, whether it's the Walking Dead main show, whether it's the movies, a spin-off, or she might even get her own show, maybe. But she goes back to the CRM soldiers, which are just completely scattered. Their guts, everything is just all over the place. Probably looking for the helicopter keys so she can use that and go on her journey towards Isabel. And she tries to make some contact with her as well. And Morgan comes back, and it's kind of it's a more of a send off this time with Morgan with her. And I thought this was a pretty cool shot as well, where the helicopter is getting ready to go off, and you have Morgan just kind of seeing her off in that way as well. And there is the famous circles intertwined together that we've been seeing so much in World Beyond, and of course the group that took Rick Grimes. And hopefully we get some Rick Grimes information in the last 2 episodes of The Walking Dead World Beyond, and his movie and the main show as well. But she finds Isabel. This is where Isabel is located. Not a bad place, but they'll probably have to move because the CRM know exactly where she is, and they'll probably have to go on the run because the CRM will stop at nothing to find her and to eliminate her, definitely. I did like the moment between Althea and Morgan where Morgan says, "You're part of the story. You're part of this." That was interesting. And then Isabel gets to see Althea, and the two of them have a very sweet moment. They share a kiss, and then that's the end of this episode. Yeah, so overall, I thought it was an okay episode. It had some awesome moments, but overall, as an episode, I didn't love it. It's probably my least favourite of the episodes we've seen so far. But it wasn't a bad episode or anything like that. Not at all. It was Althea's send-off, so it wasn't going to be too depressing or that sad if they did have plans to bring the character back. She didn't die or anything. No major character died in this episode, bar those 2 CRM soldiers, which that's an awesome kill with the cannon. That's pretty cool. And then the helicopter chase. So yeah, there's some awesome highlights for this episode. Just overall, I wasn't as engaged with the story because I'm not a big fan of the character of Althea. But if you're a huge fan of Al, then you probably loved this episode and thought it was one of the best of this season. That's awesome if you did. It's just I don't relate to that character as much. I love Dwight a little bit more, or Morgan, or John Dory Sr. Those characters I really, really like, and I'm invested into their stories. With Al, I wasn't so much, but I'm glad she got kind of a happy ending for now until she comes back at some point. Maybe with the CRM, maybe a spin-off. I don't know. The CRM will be hunting them down. They will stop at nothing. But guys, what were your thoughts on this episode? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know. Thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next Walking Dead review.